what kinds of things can we put into the compost? So we're ready to take a look and see what's in there. Teaching became a passion for me somewhere between high school and college. I realized that I wanted to do something with my life that mattered. I wanted to make a difference. I had been coaching youth sports since I was about 16 years old. I knew that working with children and trying to find ways to inspire them to be all that they could be, to do something with their lives, to be successful and follow the things that they're passionate about was something that I wanted to do.
What Mr. Soskil brings to this school is hope for these kids. This town has a grocery store and a gas station. That's it. There's nothing really for them to see, and they may never know some of the things they can accomplish unless he taught them.
Learning needs to matter to students in a way that reaches their inner core. What I've found is very effective at allowing kids to do that is to tap into their passions, to try and get to know each individual student, know what they're about, know what makes them tick, know what they care about, and then connect those things to our curriculum. Because more important than any content we could possibly teach in school is the ability to instill a love of learning in each student. And I've got newer compost that we just added on top. As content has become more easily accessed, employers out in the world don't need people that know stuff nearly as much as they used to. What they need is employees and citizens that can do something with that stuff, with that knowledge. When children develop a love of learning at an early age, that carries them through their entire life. And they're able to take whatever knowledge comes their way, whatever they can acquire, and turn it into some pretty amazing things. All right, I'm gonna roll this back over there, and then we're gonna take a walk over to the park. What are you guys looking for? We know that people can't learn unless they have an emotional connection with the content that they're studying. Too many times, they don't have that emotional connection with what they're learning. The best example I could give is, we all learned long division. We learned it in 3rd grade, we learned it in 4th grade, we learned it in 5th grade, and then our 6th grade teachers were frustrated because we didn't know long division. It never connected with us on that emotional level. As teachers, we have to find a way to connect our content with what kids care about. The most powerful way that I've found to do that is to give kids experiences that allow them to know that they matter, that they're doing something with their learning that allows them to feel in their core that they're making a difference in the world. Once that happens, once that connection happens, it's something they'll never forget.
He made us understand why all the math concepts the simple ones that we use every day now without even thinking about them, why they are that they are.
The best thing I think was that he really cared about everyone understanding what he was talking about.
He makes science really fun.
Yeah, everyone really wanted to be there. It never seemed like people were looking at the clock waiting for the day to be over.
I've always believed that learning should matter, that kids should be doing something that matters and making their community and the world better. We'd look for real problems in the world and try and solve them in ways that forced us to use the curriculum that kids had to learn in order to solve those problems. Some of it was looking for ways to get more food for our local food pantry. And a lot of that tied into the math that I was teaching. We would find ways to bring long division or other mathematical concepts into those service projects. And because of that, I was recognized by the National Science Foundation and the White House, President of the United States, with the Presidential Award for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. Once you are recognized for being excellent in your field, it opens up new opportunities. And after that, I was able to partner with Microsoft and Skype in the Classroom. They learned about some of the early global collaboration that we were doing. So I'm gonna tell a little story about a group of 4th grade students. They looked at the tags in their shirts and they said, how come all of our clothing is made somewhere else? How come it's not made in the United States? And so they did some research and they found out that their clothing often was made by children that were being forced into labor. And we happened to find at the same time a group of students in India, 6th grade students, who were working on the same problem in their country. We set up a Skype call so they could meet each other and share their research so far. They built a collaborative website, they put on a social media campaign to spread awareness about child labor. And they got a little bit of feedback. That felt good to them, that they were doing something good in the world. And after that time, we set up a cultural exchange. We identified the Chiri school in the Kibera slum. And they shared their Kenyan songs with us, some in Swahili, some in English. We shared our songs for our upcoming concert with them, same group of 4th grade students. But at the end of the call, again, my students had tears in their eyes. They came up to me and they said, Mr. Soskil, we see the conditions that those kids are learning in there in Kenya. And we see our school is beautiful. We need to do something to help those kids. And what they decided to do was to share the materials that we had in our school with the kids in Kenya. By shooting short 2 to 3 minute math videos using those math manipulatives, we had them shoot short videos and teach us Swahili. And once a week, twice a week, we'd get a video from our friends in Kenya, and we'd play it on the morning news broadcast so that the entire school could learn some new Swahili words. They learned to count to 10, they learned the months of the year or the days of the week. And a relationship was built between the two groups of students, and that was powerful. And so later on down the road, when we learned from the school director at Chiri that the pipes that they had ran along the ground, were often broken, were taped together, made out of garden hoses in some cases, and that during the rainy season, some of the unmentionables from the pit toilets would mix in with the water supply and make children and adults sick in the slum. My students had felt good about doing good for others in the past. That culture of service was built in them. And they came and automatically, they said, we need to do something to help those kids. And that's how Project Link was born. They raised money along with the other students in the other two locations, and over $12,000 for water filters. We try and give kids amazing learning experiences. And we've had the pleasure of being able to connect with over 70 countries and the International Space Station and Antarctica. For our students to be able to see what that's like. We're here in this small town here in Pennsylvania. For kids here to be able to have those experiences and learn about the world and the opportunities out there is something that's really special and makes me feel good about what I'm doing as a teacher.
He has opened up so many doors for our students and has shown them the world. He has worked tirelessly with our staff to try to give them opportunities, give them more tools in their tool belt.
When students are empowered to believe that they matter and that they can make real change in the world, they go ahead and do it. And once a person feels the joy of doing good for others, they want to do more of it. And allowing kids to have that opportunity to use their learning in real meaningful ways to make a difference for others allows them to grow and to be the world changers of tomorrow, the leaders that we need to solve the problems in our future. And solutions are out there. And those solutions are trapped inside the passions of our students. And that's our job as educators, as teachers, is to allow kids to discover how their passion solves those problems somewhere in the world. And that's what learning should be about. That's what school should be about.